Hopefully you've already started working on your first assignment in Module 1. Uh, if not, that's fine. The reason for this video is to overview that assignment uh, to help you get started or continue working on it. So first of all, let me go to the assignment description in the contents section. Here's that assignment category, and then the assignment description here is this one. It says Module 1 Assignment, Teacher-Centered Digital Presentation. Taking a look at that, I've provided you with a description of the assignment, and I just want to point out that you're going to be choosing a particular type of technology to focus on for a teacher-centered presentation. In other words, something that you would be presenting to your students. You're the one who's giving the presentation, and your students are doing something as a whole class, whatever it is, taking notes or whatever on that, but some form of teacher presentation. And the end result that you're going to be submitting for the assignment is a summary report that describes, first of all, why you chose that particular type of technology-based instruction instrument or tool to use, and then talk a little bit about your experiences in putting together this particular tool for what you want to use it for. So just go into the process briefly of what you decided to do and why, and then a little bit about the results of doing that. So the focus here is pretty much on your experiences in using this particular form of technology or technology tool, and what happened, good or bad or otherwise, in working with that. You might also mention things like, well, is this something that you thought took too much time, or it's something that's valuable to use in your instruction, no matter how much time it took to put it together. Those kinds of issues, because time is an important factor for teachers. There's just never enough of it. Okay, so that's the report. Now, depending on what you chose to do, for example, the first item is a presentation other than PowerPoint. The assumption here is that most people are able to put together a PowerPoint presentation and are familiar with that process. But if you want to do something else other than PowerPoint, there's other resources out there that people use, like Prezi. Prezi is a pretty popular presentation tool now. So this gives you an opportunity to try out something different other than PowerPoint. You also can choose to do a podcast or vodcast down here, which is a video format. You can do an infographic, a concept map, or some other type of presentation that's technology based. And I've given you examples of a variety of resources that you can use for those different categories. The first section on presentation, you see Prezi is here, and then a whole bunch of others, including Smartboard Exchange. Of course, the Smartboard can be used as a presentation device, and that's how it most often gets used. And there's a lot of materials that have been developed by teachers and students available here on the Exchange. So you might want to take a look at that, especially if you have a smartboard or think you'll have a smartboard in your classroom. Podcasts, there's information on resources that can be used for developing podcasts here. Audacity is a very popular one. If you've got a Macintosh, an Apple computer, you might want to look into using GarageBand for that kind of production. Infographics, there's several tools you can use to create an infographic. Same with concept maps. Concept maps have been around for quite some time, and there's various resources for using concept maps. just as an example here, this isn't an all-inclusive list. For example, in concept maps, a very popular program that's been out there for quite a while now is called Inspiration. Some teachers already have that Inspiration software and use Inspiration to create concept maps. So if you do have it or have access to it, it's a very fine tool to use for creating concept maps. And then there's information on resources to use for videos or vodcasts, digital images, a variety of tools for doing those. Next category here is the sort of all-inclusive category, and there's several sections in here for developing or for using various tools that you can explore, try out, see if they work for you or not, such as the social bookmarking tools. There's tools for providing students with task management, which is an important thing these days to get your students to be able to manage their tasks that they're doing, especially technology-based things. There's a whole bunch of polling software. I used one of these lately to send out that request for some background information on you. That was the Poll Daddy. There's note-taking tools. There's online sticky tools, file sharing tools, and those of you who might be interested in using digital storytelling, there's quite a few of those tools available. Okay. Also, in the content section, I've added some additional resources for the assignment. As it says, additional assignment resources. So there are documents here about creating digital learning communities. That's dealing with digital graphics. There's a document on visualizing data. There's one on videos. There's a couple actually on podcasting, and the second one includes also vodcasting. Now, as an option on this assignment, because of the short time that we have, sometimes it's difficult for you to develop a new tool from scratch, and I realize that often takes some time to do. So another option for this assignment is to take an already developed product, something that's out there that you found and you think it's appropriate to use in your own teaching. It might be a podcast that's out there, it might be a concept map or something along those lines that you would use in a presentation format for your teaching. If you do choose a product that's already been developed by someone else, then what you need to do with that is to embed it in a lesson plan. In other words, a lesson plan that shows good integration of technology. So I've provided you with resources for developing a lesson plan around that particular technology-based product. I've given you a lesson plan format, and I would highly recommend that you use this format. If you use something else, it might have some missing components, and I would have to take off for that. I've given you a file on Bloom's measurable verbs so that you have good action terms in your lesson objectives. And then I've connected documents that include the language learner standards and the CCRS standards that should be in all lesson plans these days. Now, I don't have a file here on your particular content area standards, but I assume that you know how to access your content area standards and integrate those into a lesson plan. And so those are the three components that are required for standards in lesson plans. So if you look at this format, lesson plan format, and you have any questions about it, be sure and get back to me on that. And that's it. Thank you.